Greetings and welcome back to the Daily Thunder podcast. I am the fill-in substitute host for John Napier. I'm Ryan Woods. I'm here with my compadre, the shooter himself, Brandon Rahbar, Daily Thunder beat writer. How are you, man?
I am good. And I play pickup ball with you as well, Ryan. Ryan can hoop as well. Hey, we're kicking it old school style here today. This is like DT podcast circa 2022 right now.
That's right. All the way back to the bubble season. If I have my dates right. Throwback Thursday. I was actually looking at the I've been tracking the Thunder's 3-point percentages in each of these games. Did they sign you? Because the percentages have steadily climbed. We're improving, and my first thought was Isaiah Joe, but my second thought might have been if you were on a 10-day.
I appreciate that. Hey, just being in the conversation with Isaiah Joe,
47.4% last night. We're gonna get to the game here in a bit, but yeah, good to see the percentages climb, and just had to make sure you weren't in uniform out there.
I always wear, this is a true story, I always wear hoop sneakers to games. Like, even if I'm wearing like a nice shirt, a button-up shirt, I can be wearing some like business slacks. I'll always be wearing like hoop sneakers to games, just because you never know. You never know. I'm ready for the call-up.
The word is out, and you're ready to go. I respect that. It's like I'm a big golfer, and there's a big conversation about wearing golf shoes to, like, when you go and attend a tournament, like a pro event, like wearing your own golf shoes to the event is it's what it reminds me of. Just making sure you're ready to go, just in case someone needs you out there.
That's exactly right. Yeah. I would even be satisfied with being asked to take part in the mid-first free throw competition and try to get a half-court shot in, try for 20,000. I mean, they'll never do it, unfortunately, because I'm sitting in the press row. But if for one night I could give up my press seat to take part in the
word out.
Yeah, every single time, like, I want to be in that free throw contest and try for that half-court shot.
Who among us hasn't sat there behind the iPad thinking, man, I'd love to be out there just getting some free throws up.
Yeah.
I know I could beat Sean from Edmond. I know I could.
No offense to any Seans from Edmond.
Shout out Sean from Edmond.
But when somebody hits like 2 free throws in, like, I think it's like 30 seconds that they get, I'm like, bro, man, if I'd be winning that free throw contest at least, and then you got at least a shot to win $20,000 if you win that free throw contest.
I'm so glad you brought this up, because I've thought an embarrassing amount about this. So you know how the song that they're playing when they're shooting is that "Give Me That Money"?
Oh yeah.
I'm sure it plays in your nightmares, but I've always thought, like, could I get to 5 makes before the melody change? Because if you do, like, no one gets to 5 before that point. Like, could I get to 5 before that? And then at that point, like, I'm coasting. We're talking, we can go 50% from there to the end of the timer, and we'll have it in the bag. But yeah, I would love to take that half court shot. I've played it out in my head many times. I'm sure you have as well, especially if you're wearing, your sneakers to the game.
Oh, I have. Yeah. And like at pickup hoops, like, when there's like a little bit of downtime in between games or something like that, or it's the end of the night after you played a couple hours, you'll get some half court shots in, and like you'll hit backboard a couple times, like, that's $100 right there. I just made $100. And then you make the half court shot on like your 6th try. And like, I know I would make it if just give that, even though it took you 6 chances in a non-pressure pickup hoop situation, you still feel like, I would definitely make that if I got the chance at a Thunder game.
My 18% just there would be 100% in front of all those people.
Exactly.
You're a gamer. You're a gamer. Yeah, I went to ORU, and they had a contest for a car. And I don't think this was at every game. Maybe once a week. But there was a local dealership that sponsored this and for a couple seasons, and you had to hit a layup, a free throw, a 3-pointer, and a half court shot in 30 seconds.
Ooh.
And if you did, you won a car. And they would usually pick out students. I mean, we're not talking about a monster capacity at some of these games. And usually they would grab a student. And I never got picked, but if God is my witness, I would go and practice this at the AC like multiple times a week because we would play a lot. And every time I was in the gym, I would have someone start a timer and I would try and complete this in 30 seconds. So yes, I'm what a great little niche bit of of story time there. We're really ready. We're ready to roll if
Yes,
called
yeah.
upon.
Well, you can't leave us hanging though. It's like a cliffhanger. Did you ever like how often did you make it within the 30 seconds?
I
How
mean,
often did you complete it?
an embarrassing amount of times. So many times.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you get to the point where the half court shot almost feels like it becomes part of the shot diet, you know?
That's why you never got picked. They knew. They knew.
They had cameras in there and they were like,
Yeah.
that Woods kid, no
Yeah.
chance. No chance. We don't have enough insured for this. Uh, and also I was sitting up there in with my credential writing for the student paper. So that's just not the place to get picked from, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me
All
about
right.
it.
The Clippers game. I want to start there. A couple nights ago, we get the news of some positive injury news that they're going to have uh, the most the most players that they've had in a game this season. They obviously are still without Jada, but they had Caruso, they had Dort who was questionable, they had uh, Chet who had missed the previous 3 games with a back issue, and it was really and obviously Isaiah Joe who had been playing but was now going to be on the floor with a lot of those guys he hadn't been on the floor with so far. All those guys are back for the Clipper game, and what a performance they put on. They made it worth it for the Central and Eastern time zone viewers that stayed up for a ridiculously late tip off. And I just basically want to start with your thoughts on what a game that was and what a high level performance on both ends that was.
Yeah, that was an impressive performance. The Clippers obviously on paper a really talented, deep team. Yeah, they're older, but they're a good team, especially at Intuit Dome. Now they didn't have Kawhi that night. They didn't have Bradley Beal that night. As far as the Beal part of it, who knows if that helped or hurt them not having him. But still, they have James Harden, they have Zubac, they have Derrick Jones Jr., Chris Dunn, John Collins, Brook Lopez, Chris Paul, Bogdanovich. And the Clippers
Touted as a deep team coming into the league, like one of the deepest rosters.
for sure. For sure. And they started off with a 10-point lead in the first quarter. James Harden was really, really good to start this game, hit a bunch of shots. But the Thunder, fairly healthy besides Jada that night, I thought were really impressive. Shea was fantastic. Arguably, and this is going to sound nuts because he had a career high 55 points against the Pacers. I think arguably his best game of the season for Shea. He had 30 points and 12 assists and 3 blocks in only 3 quarters. He didn't have to play the fourth quarter. He was also 4 of 5 from 3, 9 of 14 from the field. I thought Shea, especially in that third quarter when he scored 18 points, just completely dictated the game. It was the Thunder won this game in the third quarter, and they won this game in the third quarter because Shea was by far the best player. He did whatever he wanted. He either scored himself or he drew in 2 or 3 defenders, kicked it to an open Isaiah Joe, and Isaiah Joe hit a 3. That was the third quarter, and that's what decided the game. But Shea was fantastic that night.
Mentioned Isaiah Joe, 22 points, 6 of 10 from 3. It's just good to see a game where they're getting Isaiah Joe 10 looks
Yeah.
from three. That's a huge, and there's no coincidence, you not playing with Standing. That 3-point percentage can be directly tied to him coming back into these games and getting up a lot of looks. And I think Shea's assist numbers are showing that as well. I think we've seen one of their most effective, pet plays over the last few years is that ghost screen from Isaiah Joe for Shea. And Shea's been, for all the passes that Shea, can sometimes struggle with, the one he doesn't struggle with is that left-handed off the bounce pass over to Isaiah Joe at the top of the key because it's usually wide open. And they've gone back to that over and over. We saw it again last night, but huge for the offense to get someone like that back in the fold, and he's shooting it really well. And I don't know what what you're seeing, but to me it looks like Isaiah Joe is really moving well, and it's great to see because of the knee injury. It looked scary. It looked like it could be a lot longer of a recovery, and to see him back so quickly and to see him back looking the way he does, massive for this offense.
It is. Having Isaiah Joe's obviously his shooting itself, but then just the spacing that he provides. And to your point, Shea and Joe, they have been such a great two-man pair for years now. Shea really looks for Joe when he's out there as an outlet. When he sucks in defenders, he is always looking for Isaiah. And just having a shooter of Isaiah's talent really has been a big boost to this offense. Obviously, the 3-point shooting over the first, several games was one of the worst in the league. It was second worst going into that Pelicans game. It's risen since then. But they, as a team, have been shooting better. But I really do think that Zay is a big part of this, just having that threat out there. And I agree with you. I think it looks like his shot's getting up like quicker, and he's shooting on the move. I don't know. Like, you kind of think Isaiah Joe is Isaiah Joe. Like, we've seen him for years now, and he's been, one of the best shooters in the NBA. So it's crazy to think that coming back from this injury, he just looks a little bit quicker. He's getting the shot off a little bit quicker and a little bit more on the move than he used to. But yeah, really, really nice to have Isaiah Joe and his shooting and his scoring, kind of just an embarrassment of riches for this Thunder team. The depth that they have. Like, when you start talking about bench pieces, right now we're talking about AJ Mitchell, who wasn't even in this playoff rotation last year when the Thunder won a championship. He's getting some chatter for sixth man of the year, as he should be. But then you're like, okay, but you got Alex Caruso coming off the bench. He's a former first team all defensive player. You got Casey Wallace coming off the bench. You got Aaron Wiggins coming off the bench. And you got Isaiah Joe coming off the bench. Jay Will as well. Like, so Isaiah Joe would be a lot of teams' best bench player. And then on the Thunder, like, some nights he is going to be the Thunder's best bench player. But then some nights you're like, well, I don't know where he stacks up amongst this Thunder bench, because the Thunder bench is so deep. And that's like no criticism whatsoever to Isaiah Joe. It's just a testament to how deep this Thunder bench is, to have this many guys as reserves that can really, really play.
And he'd also start for a lot of teams.
He would. Yes.
The amount of teams that are, begging for that wing shooter to just slot in is a lot. And like you're saying, it's not just the shooting, it's what he provides to your best player. And your best players typically, your best player starting. Like the guy does so much for your best players. And to see, I'm looking at it, I'm rewatching a play, that whip pass that AJ made in the second half of that Clipper game to Isaiah Joe in the corner, like the opposite corner. It's crazy to get him out there now. He's going to play all of his minutes with either Shea or AJ on the floor, and it could be a huge year. And why don't we just start the campaign now? Like, Isaiah Joe needs to be in the 3-point contest this year. Like, let's stop the nonsense. Get him in the contest. He clearly wants to do it.
Yeah, because he's been asked about it the last couple of years, and he will repeatedly say, he's He's just waiting for the opportunity. If the NBA asks him, he'll do it. I think he might get it this year because the Thunder have gotten a championship bump, like national TV games, like tied with the Warriors, Lakers, and Knicks for most in the NBA. It just seems like you get a championship bump, and like players like Isaiah, the best shooter on the best team that just won a championship, I think should be extended an invite. And if he keeps shooting this way and scoring this many points on national TV so many times, I think he's going to get the invite this year. I will say the NBA, it's so funny because everybody wants to see the superstars in the dunk contest. But it seems like they've kind of shifted away from like specialized 3-point shooters to asking stars to be in the 3-point contest. Meanwhile, we still don't have the stars in the dunk contest. So it's this weird thing where it's kind of been reversed. That said, it's not all stars it's not all stars that are being invited to the 3-point contest. So hopefully
Right.
Joe gets the invite this year. He should.
Would you say he aspires to be in the 3-point shootout?
I would say so. Yes, yes, and I would choose him over any. Speaking of the Clippers, I would choose him over any of the shooters on the Clippers team in the 3-point contest.
Agreed. What an aspirational win that was the other night. Um, wanted to throw out a stat that our buddy Spencer Davis sent in to us. There have been 10 games this season where a team has fewer than 20 makes from two, and Oklahoma City's been the opponent in 3 of those games.
That's wild.
Number 1 defense, number 1 net rating, and defensive rating. Leads the league in turnovers. Just a lot of the same stuff that we're used to seeing from them, but doing it without Chet for a few games and without Jada for any of the games. Like, I think those are 2 of the best 3 defenders on the team. And to continue this, without them it really is amazing. Like, I don't really have much, like I can't stop thinking about how good this team is. And over the first 9 games, they're 8-1, and their lone loss comes on a back-to-back with 4 of their top 6 guys not playing, and it took Isaiah Joe's foot being on the line to not force overtime. I'm just wildly impressed with how this team is rolling with guys that some of these guys don't play a whole lot. Carlson got a lot of minutes last night. Jan got a lot of minutes last night. They're playing. They've played Youngblood in every game except I think last night. He might not have played. That was his first game he hasn't played in. It's amazing the depth of this team and the infrastructure to just plug and play guys and just really never miss a beat. Shout out to Mark. Shout out to the depth of this team because they are a machine right now.
They are. It's everybody plays within their role, and I think it's a credit to Mark. I think it's a credit to the depth of this team, and I think it's a credit to Shea being the type of superstar. He is like an elite offense all unto himself. Like it.
Right.
This team is incredibly talented and deep, but I think at some point, Shea needs some credit for like being able to win no matter who's in the lineup. Like, Jada missing all season, like you said, Chet, Caruso, Wallace, Dorr, all these guys have missed games this season, most of them multiple games. And Shea is going to score 30 points and win most nights, no matter who's on the court with him. And we've seen that for several years now. And this team is just so impressive because you can plug Wiggins into the starting lineup. You can plug, Cason Wallace into the starting lineup, Isaiah Joe, Jay Will, whoever it may be. And everybody plays such disciplined, smart, high effort, high energy basketball on both sides of the court. And it's just such a rare thing to see a team be able to plug and play like this. And I think it's the talent, but I think it's also just like buying into the system, the coaching, the high IQ of all the players. It's a pretty unique and special thing that Oklahoma City has going on. That despite all the injuries, you start off 8-1, and really, like you said, the lone loss by 2 points in a game that was the second night of a road back to back, third game in 4 nights in three
Mhm.
different cities, two late tips, and like you said, not having your second, third, fourth, and fifth best players. And this is a much improved, good Blazers team that, by the way, shot ridiculously well from deep.
They did. They
Like
played a great game.
Drew Holiday and Reith, like the threes they
Yeah.
were making, like not only were they making these threes, a lot of them were like hands in their face, defense, arms outstretched, and they were just hitting shots. So tip of the hat, credit to Portland for playing so well. They obviously wanted that game. The crowd was really into it. I think that probably the team realized and the crowd realized that they hadn't beaten the Thunder in a while. The exact stat on that is they hadn't beaten the Thunder since April 3rd, 2021, and that was 16 straight wins by the Thunder. Also, we talked a lot about this. The Thunder have a target on their back this year. They're the champs. That's just what happens when you win a championship. They've gone from being the hunter to being the hunted. So they're going to get every team's best every single night. And Portland on this night, they played really, really well. Thunder were down all those guys. It feels like a scheduled loss, and the Thunder were in it till the very, very end.
You can't. No one beats Chauncey's Portland Trailblazers 17 times in a row.
Are these Chauncey's Trailblazers anymore? I'm not sure.
Shout out Tiago Splitter. That kind of made me feel old that like he's coaching an NBA team now.
Yeah, that's wild. It is wild. Yeah. I mean, because it just feels like he was playing just like a year ago.
No, he looked like he could still give
Yeah,
somebody some minutes.
there's probably a few teams that he could still get some rotation minutes on. I'm going to look up his age. I'm actually curious about that. I know he's younger than LeBron and Chris Paul. I know that.
Oh
And
yeah,
Al
yeah.
and Al Horford. I know for a fact he's younger than those guys. Oh, he's exactly 40.
So Denny hits that three, puts him up 9. I think there's like 2-ish minutes left, and it felt like the one that was going to end the game. And typically, when we're watching these games, that is the one that ends the game. And then Isaiah Joe hits a 3, cuts it to 6, and then AJ Mitchell comes down and gets an and 1, cuts the game to 3 with a little over a minute left. And I just marvel at this team's like, you have to beat them for the full 48, and they're really resilient, and they have that process of next play and just never really letting go of the rope. They have a real belief in what they do, and they're incredibly talented and led by, like you were saying, just an amazing player who's so adaptable. And I was just so impressed, even in a loss last night, how hard they played and how close they came to gutting out a win where they didn't really play their best game, still almost coming away with a win.
You're exactly right. The thing that makes it even more impressive to me is they're coming off a championship. Like, if they wanted to, you see championship hangovers in sports all the time. And this team, on the second night of a road back to back, third game in 4 nights, like we said, all these dudes injured and out, down 9 points with a couple minutes left to go. And they're still fighting. They want to win every single game. They could have easily packed it in. Like, okay, just not our night. Whatever. We're going to be 8-1. They are fighting. And it's not just Shea. It's AJ. It's Isaiah Joe. It's everybody that steps onto the court wants to win every single game, every single minute, every single possession. And that's what, makes this team so good, along with the talent and coaching and all those other things. They have this competitive edge to them. Despite winning that championship last year, they still play with that edge. And speaking of AJ Mitchell, special shout out to him last night.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, this entire season, he's been so good. All this chatter about 6th man of the year and about most improved player, completely deserved. I think that anybody who was paying attention last year before his injury realized how good he looked and how impressive it was that a second round rookie jumped into the rotation of a championship contender from the tip last year, and then, sidelined for more than half of the season after his toe injury, but then to jump back into the rotation and look this good and looks like he's taking the sleep. Last night against the Blazers, he had 21 points, third game this season of 20 plus points when his season high last year was 17 as a rookie. He had 3 assists. He had a steal. He was 7 of 7 from the free throw line, and he was 7 of 11 from the field. AJ has been so good. And also very important because, when Shea was sitting, AJ was getting buckets. Like the offense, when they needed some points, whether it's when Shea was resting or in the fourth quarter when Shea was obviously exhausted and let AJ do his thing, AJ stepped up. Like, this game came down to the wire, and OKC really had a chance. And I think that AJ Mitchell, second round sophomore, played a big part in that.
Yeah, 13 of his 21 came in the fourth quarter. Just
So
so
impressive.
impressive.
Yeah.
So impressive. And I was I was talking to my dad last night. If you had given me 5 guesses as to who was going to start last night, I could have given you 5 possible lineups and none of them would have included AJ. I just didn't think, like, from a process standpoint, you would put when you're this, thin with ball handlers, that you would put your 2 best out at the start of the game. What a genius move. They were so well equipped to handle a very high pressure perimeter defense, and that first quarter was comical. 41-21 after the first. It is, I would say, the most disappointing part of last night was that level of first quarter didn't result in a win. Clearly you saw them by the end of the third quarter just running on fumes, and understandably so. But what an amazing start to the game. And I thought the starting unit was just so smart and well thought out, and it played out so well on the floor.
Yeah, completely agreed. It was an impressive showing, all things considered. When you look at all the circumstances, I think both teams really. The Blazers played hard. The effort was there. They hit a bunch of tough shots. But the Thunder, I think you nailed it. The most disappointing part was that they were up so big in the first quarter. Well, those tired legs, the whole third game in 4 nights and second night of a road back to back, that kicks in, later on in the game, in the second half, like, exhaustion and tired legs. That's when it kicks in, not at the beginning. So if you're going to be disappointed, I get it because of the big 20-point lead, 22-point lead to start the game. But if you going into that game, this was kind of the pick for a lot of us to be like, okay, this may be the game that the Thunder drop. This may be the first loss of the season. The Blazers are underrated. They're really good. They play hard. And considering the schedule, considering the injuries, this could be one they drop. If the Thunder hadn't gotten off to such a great start, and a large part of that was just like scorching from the 3-point line. If it wasn't for that start, I don't think the disappointment would be as high about the loss.
Agreed.
But you zoom out, the Thunder are 8-1. They've had a rash of injuries to start the season. J-Dub hasn't played at all. Chet's missed quite a few games. Caruso, and we know the injury situation. This is a great start to the season. The Thunder are going to get better and better as they get healthier, and they're still 8-1, the best record in the NBA. By the way, no other team even has 7 wins right now. Like, the Thunder are 2 wins ahead of everybody else ahead of the field right now. So all good despite that disappointing loss.
I want to give, before we get out of here, I want to give 2 other special shout outs. One to Jay Will, who, as a defender and rebounder, we're seeing the fruits of the offseason work. And the leaner version of himself has a bit more bounce, and it's showing itself very practically on the defensive end. He's had several one-on-one possessions of defense. I believe it was against Siakam. He had a really good one. Um, and he's guarding guys. He's guarding down on switches so much better. He's just way more equipped as a defender at this weight. And I just wanted to acknowledge that he's been amazing on the glass as well, grabbing rebounds like full extension rebounds that we weren't seeing from him before this year. And as a shot blocker, as a vertical rim protector, this is a different version of him. The offense is still there, and he's still taking charges. He's still throwing his body around in the same way that we've seen him, but there's another level of his game as a vertical threat in the paint that we're seeing for the first time. Kudos to him, the staff, everyone. It's really paying off, and this looks like a guy who could play way more as like this version of Jay Will can play in double big lineups straight away. And I think we'll see some of that, especially if they're going to be very cautious with Chet, and not, and and even in a back-to-back situation. I think you could play him with Chet. I think you could play him with Hardenstein a little bit more because of the improvements we're seeing on the defensive end. Just wanted to acknowledge that. The other person doesn't get a lot of headlines, is vital to this team and is having a monster start to the year, and that's Isaiah Hardenstein. He is such a good defender. He is such a good rebounder. He is so smart at controlling what happens beyond these dogs of perimeter defenders. Just been so impressed. The passing is the same. He's gotten a few really good lob passes that he's finished off from Kaysen, from Aaron Wiggins. Shout out Wiggins, who is just passing the ball so well. But Hardenstein has been a huge benefactor of that passing and getting in the lane, and the screens are there. The just the overall IQ and feel for the game, the instincts on both ends. He is so important to the success on both ends, and I just wanted to certainly acknowledge both Jay Will and Hardenstein. Just phenomenal starts to the year for both of them.
Completely agreed. Hardenstein has popped every single game, like double doubles, steals, assists, playmaking. Like he was 2 assists short of a triple double the other night, and the other reason he didn't get it is because it was a blowout, so he didn't get to play in the fourth quarter. And
the
then
Clipper game, right?
Yeah, the Clipper game.
I thought that was one of the best games I've ever seen him play.
Yeah, he was fantastic. And then Jay Will, those 2 plays last night, the touchdown pass to Isaiah Hartenstein.
I didn't even mention that.
Shades of Steven Adams and Dennis Schroeder. What a fantastic play. And then also that swat on Donovan Clingan. Jay Will is listed at 6'9". Clingan is 7'2". I think that was maybe the block of Jay Will's career. So yeah, agreed on the shout outs to them. And then one last shout out before we get out of here from me, Aaron Wiggins. I don't think he's underrated anymore, at least within OKC circles. Everybody realizes how good he is. Maybe he's still underrated on the national stage, but he has been essential to the Thunder's 8-1 start with all these injuries. He's stepped up big time. He's shot so well from 3. He's been a great scorer, whether it be starting or off the bench. Aaron Wiggins continues to prove to be one of the best value contracts and role players in the NBA.
5 years, $45 million.
Nuts. And it's descending. Like the contract gets lower and lower as the Thunder get more and more expensive. So
I don't even like to talk about it, to be honest. I feel bad. I'm like, man, this guy could be making so much more money.
If you're a second round pick though, like you're just
100%.
hoping that OKC drafts you. Because one, it means that you're probably going to be a steal and that you have a good career ahead of you. You're probably going to get converted from a 2-way contract to a standard contract at some point. and you're probably going to,
Probably before its time.
yes. And you've just got a great career ahead of you. So, good luck to all
Yeah.
the future second round draft picks out there as far as being drafted by Sam Presti. Those of
Just
you
go
who
work
do,
on your dribbling, your passing, your shooting, your perimeter defense.
yep, yep,
And
exactly.
be like a good guy to be around. That's all you
Yes,
need.
exactly.
All you
Exactly.
need. All right. Before we go, is there anything that you're watching that you just want to call out?
So I finished the starting five. I can't remember if John and I talked about this last time, but if you haven't watched the starting five on Netflix, yes, watch it for Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. But the entire thing is so OKC centric because you got KD, you got James Harden. They're both talking about OKC a lot. And then you got Tyrese Halliburton, and the whole thing culminates and is leading towards the NBA Finals between Shea and Halliburton in their matchup. So it is very OKC centric. The only one that's not is Jaylen Brown, and he honestly gets the least amount of screen time of the five, anyways. And then the Shea bits are great, obviously. So highly recommend starting five. And this is hilarious because the show is like 20 years old, but I'm just now watching 24, like in my
Oh,
downtime.
come on.
Did you watch it?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
love the show.
Never watched it. Like I was trying to think of like, cause I haven't watched like everything. And I was like trying to think of like, what are some like highly acclaimed popular shows that I just never watched from back in the day. And so I like Google search like best shows to binge watch. I'm like, seen it. And I was like 24. I was like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. I'm in season 2 right now. Love season 1. Shocking twist into season 1. But I'm a fan so far.
Love it.
Yeah.
Gosh, love it. Love it. I love season 2. Um that would be yeah, season 2 is really good. I'm now just kind of racking through storylines. I watched it I found it as like a I want to say teenager. Yeah, like middle school, like seasons 1 through 4 binged on DVD. Shout out box sets. But then season 5 was the first season I watched like week to week on Fox. Used to come on right before Prison Break, right after House and before
Nice.
Prison Break. Pretty awesome Fox lineup back in the day.
Yeah, it
But
is.
but yeah, incredible show. I would say like truly it only gets better from like seasons 2 through 5.
Nice.
I would put up against just about anything.
Really?
They're so good.
Nice. That's
Yeah,
exciting.
especially if you're looking for like something that you just can't hit the remote fast enough for next episode, like you're just hooked on the next one. It is a thrill, all of them. And I think it's the best kind of show to watch over and over. Week to week it was borderline miserable with how badly you wanted to see what happens next. So, yeah, that's great. I love 24. Shout
Nice.
out 24. Shout out Jack Bauer. Shout out Kiefer Sutherland. Uh, Shout out all of them. That's a great show. Season 1 is really good. All right. That'll do it. That wraps us. We will talk to you again next week. Probably be back with John. Brandon, this was a blast, and we'll do it again soon.
Yep, this was fun. Thanks for jumping in. Felt like old times.
We'll do it again. Thanks for listening to the Daily Thunder podcast. We'll talk to you soon.